Hello everyone, I am Dina and I am with Dina Inspired, and today we're going to get back to some basics of stamping. So Stampin' Up! Has polymer stamp sets, photopolymer stamp sets, or they have the rubber cling stamps. They are going away from rubber cling stamps and they will now all be the photopolymer stamp sets. But every once in a while, especially if you buy used, you may come across some of the rubber stamp sets. They work the same way on your block, your stamping block. So we will go over that. Now I have two stamping blocks here. One is a larger stamping block and one is the smaller stamping block. I would say for the majority of stamps, you're just going to need a smaller stamp block. So we're going to work with that first. And I'm going to work with the Christmas tree that many of you saw me do a reel on. And if you put this stamp right in the middle of your block, it's going to hang over some and you would not get a good stamp up here at the top. So I would put it at an angle and then it is completely on your block. So you want your stamp all on your block. And I'm using Mossy Meadow and Granny Apple Green here, just like I did when I created this card. So first, you are going to want to ink up your stamp. And to ink it up, you just tap or pat. You do not push down hard, but you can see where there's a spot here where the ink did not get on there good. So I'm going to go back in and try to tap a little bit more. And now it's completely covered. So then you are going to just put it on your paper and you're going to hold on to it and not move it, but you're going to put even pressure just around it. And in reels, whenever you see a reel on Facebook, it seems like I'm just putting it down and pulling it back up, but that's not true. I am putting pressure on there. I am letting it set for a minute and then I'm pulling it up so that I get a good nice stamp. Now when I say stamp on and off, I stamp it and then I stamp it again without re-inking. And you just get a faint image here where that ink, most of it's come off here and it's duller here. Okay? So again, you just want to tap it because if you push it, you're going to start getting ink where it doesn't belong. And if you push too hard when you're putting it on your page, then that's going to come off. Let's try it with Granny Apple Green, and I have a couple more tips here. So with the Granny Apple Green, we're just going to tap. We're going to look and make sure that it's completely covered with ink. Only where it needs to be, not on the outsides. And it looks good. So we're going to stamp it. Another thing when you're stamping like this is you don't want to rock your block. Okay, don't rock it back and forth. Keep it right where it is and just push nice. It doesn't have to be hard, just a little bit of pressure right here on the stamp. But keep a hold of it so that it does not slide or move. And then you're just going to lift it up. And I'm going to do the stamping off. Okay. And there is what we have. Now then, the same goes for anything that is a photopolymer stamp. You want the same a size that fits your stamp, and you don't want to rock it, you just want to tap it into your ink. So all the same rules apply to these stamps. Now once you stamp, you need to clean your stamp, and I use a Stampin' Up! Chamois, and this is just damp. It has distilled water on my pad just so it doesn't mold. You see all the ink on this, but it does not come off on your hands. It's damp, but once you put your stamp on here to clean it, that ink stays right there on that pad. It doesn't come off on your stamps. It does not come off on your hands. And then you can wash this just in the sink to get some of the excess ink out. So always clean your stamps afterwards. And some of your stamps will, especially the photopolymer, they are going to stain just a little bit, and especially if you use anything with red or pink, those colors kind of stain. Now this one right here, the only reason why I got this one, and it is the F block from Stampin' Up! And the only reason why I got this is because I have a big stamp here, and I needed something to fit it. Okay, now then, if you have a big stamp like this, and it's obviously it's not going to fit on your stamp pad, what you can do is open up your stamp pad and then just turn it over and tap your stamp all over, and just make sure it's even. And you see how I got some on the edge right there, which we don't want. But if we don't put pressure, a lot of pressure, and we don't rock it, that should not come off. So we're just going to put this down. Even pressure. Nothing major, just even pressure. And then there we have a nice stamped image, and that did not come off because I wasn't really pushing hard. It's just a little bit of pressure on there. So if you're just starting, have fun with it. Don't expect them all to be perfect, and practice. Practice is what makes everyone better at what they do, right? So practice with your stamps. I always have a piece of paper over here at the side where I've messed up. Maybe I was making a card and I messed up. So I have a scrap piece of paper, and I play and I try to get my images right, and so I just play with them and I'll stamp them, and especially if I have double stamps, but that's for another day. But just have fun, practice, and you'll get used to it. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments, and maybe I can cover them in another video. And as always, be sure and click that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.